Welcome to Tiki Talk The Podcast with your host, Kevin, a.k.a. Shipnut, and your co-host, Noah. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, welcome to Tiki Talk, the podcast. There you are. Look at you. Coming in here
God.
like no tomorrow. Just boom. There you are. The real boy has made his appearance. Noah, what's happening?
I know. Just the terrible non-existence I experience when I'm not here, sir.
I know. Isn't it? It's crazy. It is just crazy. I don't like
void.
it.
Oh, man.
I don't like it at all. Nope. So what's been going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just catching up on some Z's. I've been off for the last couple of days, so I know.
A little vacation time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Listen, I don't have any crazy stories this week. No trouble with the cops, no nothing.
Nobody's trying to arrest you.
Nope, haven't been stranded in strange countries. Nothing, none of that.
Disorderly conduct.
No,
nothing.
No drunken disorderly conduct. Nothing. But we do have an exciting show today. You know why?
Oh, why, sir?
Because we have a couple, an adventurous couple. We have the Adventures of Todd and Amy, YouTube, TikTok sensations, Instagram, Facebook. This couple, they've been doing adventures for decades on two wheels. So it's awesome to have them here. We're going to get all into their adventures. So without further ado, Noah, are you ready?
I am. My body is ready.
Well, I don't know about all that. It doesn't look ready.
But, I mean, hey, listen, let me not stand up right now, okay?
Yeah, no, we know what happens when you do that. So, all right, without further ado, here we go. Adventures of Todd and Amy. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Tiki Talk.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Now, you guys have been quite the buzz on social media. For me, anyway. I mean, I've been watching your videos, and I've been enjoying all of your adventurous videos that you have out there. And I know you've been, I've been talking to Amy before the show and everything. We've been communicating back and forth. I got kind of some of your backstory. Now, you guys have been on two wheels for quite a long time, huh?
Yeah,
Very long
that's right.
time.
So I used to be a competitive cyclist. It'd be like AAA baseball style. I did BMX riding when I was younger, and then I did mountain biking. And then when I moved to Ohio, I transitioned into road riding. Met a group of people out here, and I rode a lot, and it was actually Amy's suggestion to start racing when I was out here. So I raced for over a decade. Yeah.
Wow.
And in the course of that time, Amy would always ride with me. She'd go on recovery rides, training rides. We'd do training camps down south and in the Carolinas, go down to Mount Mitchell and the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we would ride down there. And then, of course, the bike races we've been to all over. We've been to Pittsburgh.
Wow.
There's a big race in Pittsburgh, all over Ohio, Michigan.
Carolina.
Yeah, the Carolinas, New York. And that's what we did for a long time. I did it as if it was my job. I rode about 10,000 miles a year. I trained all winter in the basement on the rollers. Yeah, it was nuts. And I really enjoyed it. And then it just naturally, it just progressed to the point where I was ready to do something different.
Yeah.
And I would say I just got sick of how hard it was, honestly. Like, I really enjoyed being out on the road and on two wheels, and I liked the trips that we took.
Yeah.
But you have to put in a lot of time to take trips like that. You have to be very, very fit.
Yeah.
And you can't go as far. You can't see as much. And so for years, I would always say, like, why can't we get like a motorcycle, or like, why can't you just put a motor in my bicycle, right? Like, so I can keep up with you guys and not die. And yeah, it was like always like a joke kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so then it was ironic that when Todd decided to like stop cycling, that he went and bought a motorcycle. Like one day decided, okay, I'm going to get a motorcycle.
Well, to back up just a little bit, out here in Ohio where we live, there's a lot of motorcycles out here. A lot of you see a lot of groups. So the roads that we ride on the bicycle are the same roads that people ride their motorcycles on, the byways and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so we'd see groups of riders, and Amy would always say, why can't that be us? Why can't that be us? And you know people on Harleys, on baggers, and a chick sitting on the back and relaxing and waving, and I would say, listen, I can't serve two masters, and if I buy a motorcycle, I will never ride a bicycle again. Yeah. So when I'm ready to stop riding, then training like this, riding a bicycle, I'll get a motorcycle. So that's what I did. It all fell together. I got an old Harley. I got a '97 Softail that I bought from a local guy. There's a really cool story about that. That's the bike that's being made into the chopper, by the way.
Is that one?
I know you see that. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about the chopper, because I've seen your recent videos. You just picked up some chrome the other day and stuff like that. So now are you doing a full restoration chopper build, or it's a ground up. It's a full custom. Yeah. It wasn't going to start out that way, but it ended up that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my original. That's the first bike Harley that I've ever owned. I owned a bike when I was younger, when I first got out of the service, but that bike will be my chopper. But yeah, I bought that, I rode that, and after some time, Amy would ride it on the back of it a little bit when it was still a stock Softail. Yeah. Just wasn't very comfortable. And she said, listen, I remember it clearly. She said, why can't you have a bike like that? And it was a full-on bagger. And I was like, you want me to get a bagger? She's like, yeah, if you got one of those, I would ride with you. And I said, okay. So we went up to the local dealer. It was in the fall, it was around October. I went up to a local dealer and I bought a 2016 Ultra Classic. Yeah. And the thing was almost brand new. It had 8,000 miles on it. A guy bought it. It was too big for him. He traded it in. The bike was about mint. Yeah. And I got a really good deal on it, and I bought that, and that's the bike that started the Adventures of Todd and Amy. Yeah, that's the bike that Amy got her leg broken on when the deer ran into us. Oh, boy. I remember watching those videos. Yeah, she had a nice...
Yeah, and so we can talk about the chopper build, but that's how we got to where we are with riding together. Mm-hmm. And we've always loved to travel. We've always loved to travel. And so we do it on two wheels, and it's just kind of organically grown. We started out doing it one way, and this year we did a lot more moto camping, which has worked out. I think it's worked out well. Amy has a little bit of a different opinion about that, but yeah.
Define well. I feel like well is a relative term.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And if you go back and look at our videos, I think most people would agree that the moto camping just it did not work out in the way that Todd had envisioned. Okay. It worked out exactly how I thought it would. So
well, I mean, being on a bike and moto camping, you are very limited on what you can bring. So you don't have all the creature comforts that you can definitely have. Unless you're pulling the trailer with it, which some people do. Have you ever seen those motorcycle trailers that are behind the little campers? Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah,
no. She brought that up a while ago, and I said I don't have a Goldwing, so we're not pulling a trailer. If I get a Goldwing, I might pull a trailer, but I'm not pulling the trailer. We're not there yet.
You know what's funny? That is going to be my dream bike is a Goldwing. Those things are just
that's
buttery
right.
smooth, beautiful. And you could just pack on the miles on a Goldwing.
Yeah.
And they have heated seats.
Oh, yeah.
They have reverse.
You can buy a heated seat for yours.
Yeah. I mean,
they make them.
Put a cover on it.
Yeah. They make heated seats for, Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Heated grips, heated seats. Do you have heated grips at least?
I mean, it might be better if it's built in.
I'm more of a minimalist. Yeah. So I try to keep it as minimal as possible with regards to the bike. That's like, so when we bought this Road Glide, so the Ultra got totaled out after the deer incident, and so I bought a 2022 Road Glide. It's the first new thing I've ever owned. I've never owned a new car, never owned a new anything. And once again, Amy said, "Hey, you've never had anything new. This is what we do. This is our thing." She's like, "If you want a new one, you should buy a new one." And I was like, okay, then I guess I'm going to get a new one. So
I mean, as a guy, would any guy be like, no, I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I do deserve
You're
that.
onto something. Hey, maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I will say though, I was under the impression that, if you bought the new bike, like you're good. We'll just put our old seat on it. He'll switch out the suspension and it'll be good. Little did I know the amount of upgrades that were going to go into it. So had I known that financial piece of it, I would not have been on board.
I mean,
and
you got to upgrade.
When it happened, yeah, you know how it is if you know anything about Harleys, it's you buy the bike. And then that's just the starting point. And then you have to put all the stuff into it to make it work better, ride better, but then to make it yours. You know, they're all unique. And that's what's really cool about Harleys is they're all very specific to the person.
Oh, for sure. You know? Unless you get a Me Too bike. I mean, if you get a black street glide,
black street glide,
that's a Me Too bike. But Harleys are when you go to the dealership, you're just not buying a bike because they're gonna sell you that bike, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You're going to the part shop next to get the Stage 2 kit, Stage 3 kit, the chrome, all that stuff, new exhaust. Because they don't sound like that out of the box. I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah, not at all. Well, the suspension sucks. The brakes suck.
Yep.
I mean, you got to have a loud pipe on it because, loud pipes save lives. So you got to have that.
Listen.
And then, you change the bars for comfort, the seat. You got to put a radio in it. It snowballs, man.
It's wild that you would buy this vehicle that has all those things and then you'd still need to replace all of them.
Well, yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah. Well, you got to make it yours. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
That's what I do with my Toyota.
I have a Kawasaki Voyager, full dress, big bagger bike. But my problem is I don't have the aftermarket that Harley has for mine.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to find aftermarket parts for my Kawasaki. So
yeah.
But I'll pack on the miles on that thing. It's great. And you're right. Loud pipes save lives. I live in Florida. Oh yeah. Different kind of riding down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're most definitely, we're all inclusive. I mean, it goes back in the cycling days. So with cycling, you get a lot of elitism. You get a lot of, guys look down at other people for the bike they ride or the way they look or what have you. And so that's just not who we are as people. So we wave at everybody, and I love anything cool. And my uncle used to always say, if it's got tits or tires, I'm into it. And that's how I am, man. If it's cool, it's cool. And if it's a Kawasaki or a Harley, or it doesn't matter, No. But we struggle. We kind of struggle a little bit. I don't know if struggle is the right word, but we don't really fit into that whole Harley, like the biker type aesthetic, I guess, if you want to call it. People look at us and we're middle-aged white people and we're riding a nice big, Harley bagger. It's custom. It's got money in it. And people would assume certain things about us, but when we've gone to bike nights and we go to things like that, man, and that is just not our scene. We're not into the leather daddy, biker type scene. I mean, we rode this.
No offense to leather.
Yeah,
daddies.
no offense to that. I mean, there's a place for all that. That's just not. We don't feel. We just. I don't know. It's a vibe, and it's just not our vibe, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think that's why we've had so much fun on TikTok, though, because we've met so many people in the motorcycle community and not in the motorcycle community that we feel really connected to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that we've never met in person, but feel like they're friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's been really nice.
Yeah, it is really cool, man. It is really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a different thing. Like, when I go out and ride, it's usually we ride solo. My wife and I will go out and just by ourselves. I mean, I've been on some group rides, but we're mostly just, hey, let's get on the bike and go. Now I have to tell you, we haven't been very far yet. We haven't been on adventures like you guys, which we're gearing up towards. But my only problem down here in Florida is where I live. I'm riding for 5 hours and I'm still in Florida.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it's like all right, it'll be a day out of Florida for sure,
Yeah.
Unless I want to go for an iron butt ride or something, and then I don't.
No, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, we almost did one coming home from Maine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is we talk about that a lot actually. Living in Ohio like we do, being central in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can go. We're within 2 hours we're out of the state where we live.
Yeah.
And we can go to Michigan. We can go down to. We've been going a lot to West Virginia here this year, which has been great. We can go east. We can go west. I mean,
Pennsylvania.
there's a lot of good riding where we are, and if we go south, it's all hills.
Yeah.
And if we go north, it's flatter, and it's really neat. We talk a lot about where do we want to go. Next year, and it's kind of hard to figure it out. I think we're going to go back into the Northeast again. There's a lot of unexplored areas we didn't hit. When we did that trip to Maine, the weather wasn't so great.
Yep.
So we want to go back up to upstate New York. There's some places up there we'd like to go that we missed. So there's just so much to see, man. There's just not enough time.
Yeah. Well, on the average, what do your adventures usually last? Is it like a week, 2 weeks? I mean, just on an average, depends on the trip.
It depends on the trip.
Yeah.
I would say on average, if we combine all of our little trips with our big trips, probably 4 days. We have a lot of trips that we've done in like 3 days, but then we had like an 18-day trip, and then we had like an 8-day trip.
Yeah.
And I think we had like a 6-day trip one time. So if you average those with all of our 3-day trips, it's probably more like 4 days.
Yeah. The longest trip was the trip out west that we did a couple years ago. That ended up being 18. Was it 18 days total or 18 on the bike?
No, it was 18 days.
I would say 18 days total. That was out west. We made it all the way to Idaho.
Wow.
And then the trip to Maine was
8 days.
An 8-day trip.
8 days, yeah.
But yeah, it just has to do with time. When we took the trip out west, Amy had taken time off work. And then I had a lot of unused time at work that I was able to use. So we were able to go for a long stretch, but now it's a little bit different. So I think this next year we're going to do smaller trips. We're going to do like 4-day trips, 5-day trips, and keep them tighter and keep them closer to this area. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
I would love to go out west and ride out there. I want to do Beartooth Highway so bad. I just got to find the time to do it, I really want to
ride all the way out there, or would you like U-Haul it or fly out and maybe rent a bike? Like, how would you want to do it?
Me personally, I would love to take like a month and just go,
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
If I could, I would love to take like a month and just go.
Yeah.
But there is a company that I was looking at that will pick up your bike, ship it out there, and it's like the hotel and everything. It's all inclusive pricing. You pick up your own bike while you're out there. You go on like a week-long tour with people, and then they ship your bike back. I thought about doing that. That would have been, and then we just fly out there.
Right.
But then you don't get the road experience. You don't get to see the biggest ball of twine, or you don't get to see, the stuff that, the nostalgic stuff that you get on a road trip,
And that's what we love about it. Like, it's almost like the destination isn't even like, that's just like the goal, I guess, but the trip is everything in between.
Oh yeah.
That just makes it so much fun.
And that's how I plan these. So what I do is we decide on like for Maine, for example, Amy wanted to go to Acadia. So it's like, we're going to go to Acadia. So now we just need to figure out, I need to figure out how do we want to get there? And then we'll get out the map, because I love physical maps. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, you're a map guy. You are a map guy, not a GPS guy. You're a map guy.
Yeah. We do map time with Todd.
Yep. I saw it.
Videos.
Yeah.
I grew up reading maps. I like maps, and so then I'll kind of plot out a general direction, general area, and then Amy will look to see what is there that's unique along the way.
Yeah.
And then it kind of organically just manifests manifest itself. And that's the thing I like about not having a hard, like not booking Airbnbs along the way. Because when we went out west, that's what we did. And we had to be here. This is where we were going. And there were a lot of times we ended up there like really late at night because that's where we were staying.
Yeah.
So when we moto camp, you can just end up wherever you end up.
Yeah.
Or if you can just find no-tell motels, which is the way we like to do it, as long as you can find one, where you're going or somewhere, you can say, okay, we want to stop in an hour, get out the phone, look, okay, here's some no-tell motels an hour away, make a couple calls. Do you have any rooms available? And then we end up there. That has worked out surprisingly well for us.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well. Yeah.
Yeah, you can usually find, a few motels along the way. Even if you're doing a road trip, we've done that. It's just, you can find them. Now, when you moto camp, do you like stay on BLM land, or do you sometimes, or do you always get like a campground?
Well, we've only done it a couple times, but we try to stay at like state parks and public campground. Yep. Gotta have a shower house.
Yeah,
and that's really about it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I'm on board with that.
But no waterfalls to shower. No lake diving.
The waterfalls, but I don't think they would appreciate us getting in them.
And
fair point.
What really got me jazzed up about the moto camping was going back to that 97 Softail. When I first bought that bike, I was looking for a community because I come from a cycling community where, I had a team, we had a club, we had a group of about 30 people. We did group rides together all the time. And I love that. I love it. So I was looking for a community. Well, I found a podcast online, the Low Life Chopper podcast. If you've heard of them, I started listening to Danger Dan's podcast, and then I went to a couple of chopper events.
Yeah.
And I met some pretty cool people. And there's these chopper events that go on down in the South. In the Carolinas and North Georgia and stuff. So I started just taking the Softail and putting all my gear on the bike and riding down there and camping. And I would take the byway to get there, and I would take multiple days, and I would just sleep on a park bench.
Gotcha.
Like old school style,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and I really. Now you talk about freedom, because isn't that what it's about? Like the motorcycle, you get on that bike and like you can just go wherever. It's just it's hard to people that don't ride. You can't really describe it, but the sensation and the feeling of just pure freedom, man. Just two wheels, the wind. You can just go wherever you want to go. You can just go. You just want to ride and ride and ride.
That is how I clear my head. If I got I just get on the bike and I'm like, I'm gone for a few hours. Even if it's a few hours, it's like I just want to clear my head and just not think about anything and just enjoy the ride. I don't even have just go. Let's just go. Mm-hmm. That's how I clear my head. Now, with your adventures, how much have your followers influenced you on like where you go? Have they, or
Definitely.
Yeah, especially this year a lot. Yeah.
Before, what would happen is I would like post our videos, and then people would be like, oh, I hope you went here, or make sure you go here, or you should have gone wherever. And we had already like left that area, right? So of course we could add it to our list to do later, but this year we started letting people know ahead of time where we were going, so that they could let us know, like, hey, where should we go to eat? What should we go and see? What's a cool route to ride? And we really like being able to get our followers involved, but then also like, especially if they live in the area, like they know like where the cool stuff is. And that's where we've found, some really cool routes is when we just meet people at a gas station on our travels. And then they're like, oh, you have to ride this road. And it's not on a regular map. Just the locals know it, right? Yeah. So we definitely like to get our followers involved.
Mm-hmm. Is that how you found the mystery hole?
No. Well, so the mystery hole, we passed by it when we were there in July. And when we posted our video, everybody's like, you got to go to the mystery hole. You got to go to at least 50 people said you got to go to the mystery hole, but it was closed. So that's why this time we're like, we got to go to the mystery hole. What a waste of time.
And let me add, Amy was He was hell bent on going to that mystery hole.
For the people, the people wanted us to go to the mystery hole.
I could have cared less.
There's a hole with a
She was
mystery.
like, so we went.
Oh.
And then Amy,
I did not do it.
She didn't
As
go
you all
in.
know, if you watch the videos, I did not do it. And I stand by that.
Yeah, but then I watched Todd's video on explaining the mystery hole with the dive.
Yes.
And I was like, what is going on?
Let me explain the mystery hole to you.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It was fun. I love to watch it.
It's one of those things. I don't regret doing it, I suppose, but I wasn't mad she didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So if your motorcycle could talk, what do you think it would say about your adventures and your relationship?
Oh, that's a good question. If it could talk, what would it say about our adventures or our trips? I think it would say that we like to take adventures. Yeah. Like we explore, you know what I mean? So like we're always on the bike. We don't even have the ability to post everything that we do on the bike. I mean, when it's nice weather, even during the work week, 9 days out of 10, we're on the bike. Even like you said, even if it's just for a couple of hours, just to go and ride and just enjoy it and clear our head. I will say in regards to the relationship piece of it, there's definitely a lot more trust now being in our 5th year of motorcycling than in like the first year. Just because, when we first started riding, like I've never sat on the back of a motorcycle before. I don't like riding on a tandem bicycle. I like being in control. And so I was worried that I wouldn't like it. So it was surprising that I liked it as much as I did. And so I really just worked through like my anxiety around a lot of it. But then Todd also had the bruises on his rib cage to prove that like he was just going too fast. Or he was like really, really pushing the limits.
Oh yeah.
And interestingly enough, though, it was the accident that we got in that, a lot of people would think, oh, are you going to ride again? But I enjoyed it so much that I was like, there's no way I can go like the rest of my life without riding. Yeah. There's just no way. I love it so much. And so I really worked through that fear with, therapy and with, energy healing and cognitive therapy where you just get out there and do it. And that really worked well. And I think over the last like 2 years, just with the amount of riding that we've done, we know each other really well. Yeah. Todd knows when he can push it and when he shouldn't. And I also know that he knows how to handle the bike. Yeah. And I do trust him implicitly. And so with that level of trust, I don't worry.
Yeah. It's a trust thing 100%. I would never do anything to put her at risk. And actually, that's one of the main reasons why I quit drinking. I quit drinking 6 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is my 6th year. Yeah. And, when I first started riding on my own, I said, I'm not going to drink when I ride. And then, I met up with some guys and would go bar hopping, and I'd say, well, I'll just have a Miller Lite, I'll have a light beer. And the next thing you know, man, I'm back to, I'm just drinking and riding and bar hopping. And I would want Amy to go ride with me. And when I got that Ultra, I was still drinking then, and we'd go out to get dinner or something, and I'd have a beer or have 2 beers, and she'd be like, and I'd say, man, it's all right, don't worry about it. But
it would make me nervous.
Yeah, it would make her nervous, and so I had quit drinking before the accident, by the way. But it really motivated me to just want to be as safe as possible and to do everything that I can do in my control to make sure that we're safe on the bike and that she's safe. And so that's, she just trusts me completely, and I listen to her inputs. If she feels a certain way about, not wanting to go fast on a certain road, or she wants to just take a minute and pull over, whatever she wants to do, as long as she wants to take a break, that's what we do. And
it's a partnership. It's a partnership between the both of you. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Now, I mean, and that's interesting because a lot of the people see people that ride and bikers and stuff as that's all they do is go bar hop, and that's all they're doing is drinking. That's just the stigma of a biker. I don't call myself a biker. I love to ride, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
When I'm on my bike, it is. I'm on the bike. I'm not having a drink. No way. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I've known too many people that have almost been fatally killed or have been fatally killed because they were drinking on the bike, and I just won't.
Yeah.
I won't do that myself. You know, I got to keep it. But you don't need to drink to enjoy motorcycles. You don't need to drink to ride. You don't need to drink. I mean, the first time you guys started watching me, you were watching my other channel, which is my Tiki Bar channel, where I'm making drinks.
The hose bar.
So
yeah, we don't mind that other people drink. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been a drinker. My drink of choice is Dr. Pepper, as you all know.
Oh yeah.
It's superior. It's superior.
It is.
okay?
It's the best soda.
It's the best soda in the world.
Exactly.
I will die on that hill.
Well, you know, it's called it's called the Texas Champagne.
Champagne is
Texas champagne.
is
I
awesome.
never knew that, actually.
You never heard that? That's a real thing, man.
the
Yeah.
Texas champagne. All right.
Yep.
I gotta
Champagne of Texas.
Yeah.
That's
All
right.
right. I got a
Yeah.
question from Facebook. Deanna Carey asked, "What are some of your two-wheel travel essentials?"
Okay. He's got minimum. Maybe you should say yours first because he's got like 3.
I don't need anything.
Well, no. You have to have a coffee pot because you're like me. You have to have
Yeah.
coffee.
Oh, percolator?
Okay, so yeah, I always take my coffee with me, and I got a little jet boil kit. I made the mistake of not bringing my own coffee when we just did that trip down to the New River Gorge, and I was regretting it. So I gotta have my coffee. I'd say that's really my only essential, you know.
Yeah.
I gotta have coffee, and if I'm going on a multi-day trip, I at least gotta have a clean pair of drawers and socks to put on.
Yep.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm a little bit more high maintenance. I don't think it's high maintenance. I think it's just like how to maintain living. But for me, it would definitely be in regards to like allergies. So like eye drops, nasal spray, lozenges, because when you go into like different communities and different states, things are blooming at different times. And so the season might not be bothering you here today, but out there it might be. And so those are definitely imperative, having those in the saddlebag. The safety kit, like the med kit, which knock on wood, we've never had to use, but I feel like by having it, we won't need it.
Yeah.
And that has like every single medicine you could think of. It has bandages, it has like a tourniquet. Like, I mean, it has like everything you could think of.
Well, you never know when you're out there, really. I mean, you could be 100 miles from someplace, you know, when you're, especially out west. Like if you start going, you know, 80 in Wyoming, there is nothing there for days.
We've been in places because we do a lot of, you know, backroad riding, and we've been in places where we've ridden for 5-6 hours and not seen a single soul and passed by maybe one house off in the distance. And so then I would probably say my other like essential, I mean, it's skincare. I gotta take care of my skin. It's like important to me. And when you're out in the elements, because I don't wear a full face helmet, I wear a 3/4. You know, it like jacks up your skin. It gets really dry, and so those are my essentials.
I guess I would have to add sunscreen to that.
Yeah.
I do wear sunscreen.
Oh, you need it. It's important. I wear long sleeves here in Florida because especially in the summertime, you go for a ride, that sun's beating down. Oh, you're cooking.
I mean, he definitely needs it.
Well,
you know,
I mean, I got my helmet on anyway, but
But in all seriousness, though, for you said it was Dina, you know, comfortable shoes, warm socks. Always making sure that you have like a long sleeve or a sweatshirt to put on if you get chilled. Those are definitely essentials, and having rain gear on the bike in case you need it if it starts to rain, because sometimes you can't not ride. You need to ride through the rain, and sometimes it's not raining hard enough that it really matters. You can just ride, but you don't want to be soaking wet.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're in Florida where it rains every day, I was out for a ride, and I was at a stoplight. I was 5 minutes from the house, and I'm looking, and you could just see the rain following me, and it just opened up at the stoplight, and then And down here, it's like somebody just took a bucket of water and just dumped it on you. I was drenched. I was like, oh, well, nothing I can do. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
You didn't have time to put on rain gear. It was just there, done, gone.
Yeah.
Now, when it does that in Florida, it only rains for a short period of time, though, right?
Usually about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could duck in somewhere and hide for 15, 20 minutes, and then it'll pass.
Yeah,
You'll
usually.
see people do that on the highway.
Usually. I mean, because
down
here it's weird. It'll be raining in the front of the house. In the back of the house, it won't be raining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It does that. You can just see, like, if you're on the interstate, you can see a wall of rain coming down. It's
anytime we go down into the mountains, like the Appalachian Mountains, into the Carolinas or whatever, it rains. You're always going to get rained on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing. You just got to ride through it, and once you get through it, then you're good. And then if it's summertime, you'll just dry yourself out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, down here you dry yourself out quick. I mean, it's just within 10 minutes you dry. Like my wife and I, we were on a ride, and it just opened up on us. Well, we could see it raining, and I was like, "Do you want to stop? Put on the gear?" She's like, "Nope, just keep going. We'll dry off." I'm like, "All right, let's roll."
We'll get dry
We've done
eventually.
that before too, when it's like really hot or something, or we're just like, whatever, it's fine.
Yep, just go. The only thing that I don't like is that, man, I can't see with the glasses on. The rain's hitting them. I mean, I need like little windshield wipers on the glass.
That video you sent me.
They make those, actually.
Right? Yeah, they do. Like I'll peek my head around the side of the windshield just to like clear my glasses out sometimes, just so I can see. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The helmets that we wear the Shoei. It's called the HO, I believe.
Yep.
They don't make it anymore, which is a shame. But they're 3/4 helmets, and they have the visor that is inside the helmet. So you can slide it down. So in the videos, Amy always has hers down. I never have mine down. I just wear my sunglasses.
Yep.
But the shield that's on there, I have like Rain-X spray. So if it's going to rain and we're going to ride in the rain for a while, I'll put the clear shield on and I'll wipe it down with that. And then that does a really good job of like getting the waters to the point where I can see.
Yeah.
If it's pouring, I can't see. I won't ride in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we rode a lot in the rain. The most we've ever ridden, I think, on that trip to Maine. It rained every other day.
Yeah.
There was nothing we could do. We just had to ride.
Yep.
So we've got new rain gear this year. We got Nelson Riggs rain gear, which worked out phenomenally well for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Now, hang tight. We'll be right back. We're just mixing up a new cocktail and getting ready for our next segment. Because, we need a new beverage. Hang tight. Stick with us. Tiki Talk The Podcast will be back in just a moment. Hey, coffee lovers and podcast fans. Looking for that perfect cup of coffee to fuel your mornings and to keep you going throughout the day? Look no further than Aroma Ridge Coffee Roasters. Fresh roasted, rare flavored, and packed with rich, bold flavors you're going to love. And guess what? They're the official coffee of Tiki Talk The Podcast. So while you're tuning into our fun, casual, and outrageous episodes, you can sip on some delicious coffee from Aroma Ridge. Ready to get yours? Use code SHIPNUT and check out and save 10% on your order at aromaridge.com. Ready to dive deeper into the laughs and chaos of Tiki Talk The Podcast? Get your hands on exclusive merch and catch every epic moment from past shows at tikitalkthepodcast.com. We're talking teas, mugs, and more with all that signature Tiki Talk flair. Perfect for fans who live the what the fuck moments and Kevin and Noah's outrageous stories. Want instant access to replays? Just tap that live stream. Whether it's Kevin's wireless law troubles or Vienna Sausage Showdown, relive it all anytime. So head over to tikitalkthepodcast.com today. Your merch, your laughs, your podcast. Tiki Talk The Podcast. Your trip to Mount Washington, how was that?
I mean, that was awesome.
I've been there myself. I used to live in New England. Yeah, I used to live in Rhode Island. Okay. I grew up in Rhode Island, lived in Massachusetts.
That's the accent. Yeah. That makes sense.
That's the thing I always make fun of them for. Yeah.
Lobster land. Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, lobster land.
Yeah, no, Mount Washington, even watching the videos back gave me a little bit of anxiety, I'm not going to lie. And so people who have been up Mount Washington, it was really nice to see that 90% of people commented how scared they were, or that they'll never do it again, or because it's like, sometimes I think Todd thinks that I'm just being irrational about it, but it's just like, he even agreed that Mount Washington was a different beast.
Yeah, it was like nothing I'd done before. It was intense.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Oh, yeah.
Amy wanted to stop on the way up, and I'm like, no.
No stopping. We're going.
Yeah, I'm like, no. We got to get to the top,
Yep.
and then we'll figure out. And I got up there, and I was like, man, how am I going to get down this thing?
Yeah,
And the temperature change. The temperature change.
huge,
Oh,
like
my
30
God.
degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really confident in my ability, but I got up there and I really was like, oh man, I got to get us off this thing. But then after you're up there for a while and you kind of, you're like, okay, it's not so bad. And then I'm watching all these people ride down. I mean, there was as many bikes as there were cars up there.
Yeah.
And there were all, I mean, women, men, sport bikes, baggers, you name it. And I saw them, they're all going. And I'm like, if those guys can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And so we did it. And the ride down was nothing. It was nice.
Yeah, the ride down, I mean, I had a full-blown panic attack at the top of that mountain, not going to lie. Full-blown panic attack. I had the start of one when we got to the top, and then when I realized, oh, we got to go down this thing, that's when it just went into full-blown panic attack mode. But a lot of people have that experience. They have people that work up there that will drive your car down.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They have friends up there.
Of course, there's an industry.
Many people, they get up there and they freak out.
Well, some cars don't even make it up there. Some cars don't make it.
Yep. Yep. And then they have that train. Had there been a seat open, I would have rode that train down, but they were all sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so worried about her at one point because she legit was coming unglued.
Yeah.
That completely. I was like, well, why don't we just ask one of these people that don't look, why don't we just ask somebody if you can hop in the vehicle and ride down with them?
No.
And she was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know these people.
Yeah.
But no, we rode down and she did. The ride down was nothing compared to the ride up, which was weird. I would have thought it was going to be scarier going down, but it wasn't. I mean, I basically kept it in first gear, maybe second, going down most of the way. Man, the people that roast their brakes going down that thing.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh yeah. All right, we got another question from Facebook from Tyler. What was your favorite trip?
The trip to the Grand Tetons, without a doubt. Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. That was the trip out west. Yeah. And we went to the Tetons. We weren't even planning on doing that. We rode. So I'll back up slightly. So we knew we were going to take a trip, and everybody always asks you. This was the second year we were doing our motorbike adventures. We had the road glide. We had just gotten the road glide because I didn't even have my new exhaust on it yet. And so people always ask, you ever been to Sturgis? You ever been to Sturgis? And like I said earlier, that's not our scene. We're not that type. We're not that bike scene type people. But I've always wanted to go out west, and I do want to ride to Sturgis. That way I can get the patch, and I can tell people, we rode to Sturgis.
Now,
I got friends.
I would love to
go every year.
I would love to go to Sturgis. Well, I've been there. I've been to Needles Highway, all that stuff. Not on the bike though. We would on a road trip. I would love to go, but not during Sturgis because I would like to enjoy the ride. Because when you're in a group ride, 200 bikes deep, you're not enjoying that ride really. You can't see everything because you're worried about people in front of you, behind you. Because I don't think I'd be able to enjoy the scenery there in a group ride like that. In Sturgis.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to be around so many other bikers. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like just that whole environment is nice, but yes, there's a lot of people there. It's not like you can really explore some of the areas because there are so many bikes.
Yep.
So we definitely want to go back down there when it's not the rally.
But we did, a buddy of mine goes every year, and he said the key to going is either go before the rally or after. Like he's like, you want to be there either right before it starts or after it ends. Yeah. That way you can. So we went before the rally started, and we got there. We stayed in Spearfish, not in Sturgis. So we were about 30 minutes outside in Spearfish. It was an awesome little Airbnb. And then we rode on the opening day. So we were there a couple days before the actual rally officially open.
Oh, nice.
That's when we did like Needles Highway and stuff like that.
And I mean, for sure it was crowded, but it wasn't that bad. But we went downtown Sturgis, and I think we were only there for half a day.
Yeah.
Now Amy was still on crutches at the time, so she couldn't exactly walk around comfortably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you've been to a bike rally. It's just a bike rally on steroids. It's it's the same thing as any bike rally.
So, like I mean, even Daytona. Yeah. Daytona is just like wall to wall people. Very traffic. The traffic is ridiculous. It's just, do I like it? It's fun. It's different experience. You're around like-minded people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You see some crazy shit for sure.
But
we like that one Waffle House.
Oh yeah. Huh? What, Noah?
Oh, like my favorite Waffle House off by Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to go to that
or
one.
Buc-ee's.
It's always a show. Buc-ee's. Yeah, Buc-ee's is fun too.
Buc-ee's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Buc-ee's is the best. I love the beaver. Buc-ee's the beaver. Oh, man, that's so good. Oh. Anyway, let's get back to it. It's I love Needles Highway. I loved it out west. Grand Tetons is so beautiful.
Oh,
Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
I mean that. Oh yeah.
Because we stayed in an Airbnb in Idaho that was right past Jackson. So we had to go through Jackson Hole, up over that big mountain pass, which was 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Every single time that we were going to like the Tetons and back. And it was just magical and beautiful and serene and amazing. Like by far my favorite place and like my favorite state, Wyoming for sure, because we rode all of Wyoming, like every corner of Wyoming we ended up riding. We ended up staying like 2 extra days to keep riding.
And we did Yellowstone, but we never made it up. So if you know Yellowstone, it's kind of like a figure eight.
Yep.
Or so you got one road that goes down the middle, you got a bottom loop, and you got an upper loop, and the bottom loop is where the geyser is. So we never made it to the upper loop.
Oh.
I wanted to get up there because that's where the big passes are.
Yeah.
And we just didn't have time.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah,
you're
like not doing 80 miles an hour. You're going 40. You're looking at stuff. You're stopping. It takes forever to see it.
Well, Yellowstone's weird because you're riding through Yellowstone and you're slamming on the brakes because you're like, what was that? So you turn around and pull in because it's just there and you want to see it. Like the upper loop of Yellowstone, that's like Lamar Valley and all that. Oh man, that is gorgeous up that way.
Yeah,
you definitely got to get back to do that. For sure.
We want to go back out there, but we think when we go back out west next time, we're going to probably rent an RV.
There you go. Yep.
The bike. Yeah. And then that way we can get out there a little bit faster and we can stay in like the national parks and we can just kind of like pick a spot and then explore for a day or two and then get back in the RV and like go somewhere else. So that's probably what we'll do when we go back out west.
So that's our future. That's the future plan of the Adventures of Todd and Amy is we're going to do an RV and go out west and do just what Amy said. Yeah. And then we'll be able to stay in a KOA or something and stay for a week and have a base of operations. And all we do is just ride every day, all day, come back, and we got everything we need in the RV.
Yeah. Yep. That's the way to go right there. Then everything's right there. You don't have to worry about hotels and everything like that. Just get a campground and off and running. Now, Yellowstone's weird, though, because when you're driving through it, one day the road will be open and one day it will not be. Because of weather,
washout.
Because of weather, and then you have your bison traffic jams, which I've been caught into in Yellowstone. Like you're at a dead stop because there's a herd of bison just walking down the middle of the street, and they don't care.
Yeah, we didn't have that in Yellowstone. We
saw
them
Custer.
We saw them at Custer State Park.
Custer State Park,
Yeah.
Oh,
not in Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, man. Oh, yeah. I've been caught in many bison jams. I've been to Yellowstone 3 times so far. It's one of my favorite places to go.
I can't
yet to do it on the bike. I have to do it on the bike, but I've been.
You do. You really do.
Got to do it on the bike. So that's going to be upcoming plans for sure for me. I have to. I have to.
One of our trips that we want to do is ride down to Key West.
Oh, yeah.
But we're still trying to figure out how we're going to navigate that because we talked about maybe doing that next year, but with work, that might have to wait till the year after.
Yeah.
Because that will be a much longer trip.
Yep.
But that's where we're trying to figure out like the best time of year to go, because if we ride down, we have to go through a lot of states that are, if we go in early spring, we have to go through states that are still dealing with like freezing cold weather.
Yep.
But then we also don't want to be down in Florida when it's 110 degrees either.
Yeah.
So
It's
any suggestions?
it's hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's hot.
It's always gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot and soupy.
Usually the heat doesn't turn on until the end of May. The end of May. That's when like the extreme heat turns on. Like end of May, June, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And it stays like that until October.
Yeah, that's what we were saying was probably March would be like the best time, but we still get snow up here in March.
You're probably looking at a good time is like April.
Yeah.
Like mid-April, end of April.
Bring your reindeer.
Yeah,
bring your reindeer.
The goal is we'd like to ride. I'd like to do the perimeter, so I'd like to ride down the East Coast, go ride down to the Keys, come back up, and then come up the other side, and then up into the Panhandle, and then make our way down the Gulf and end up like in I don't know, man, all the way over into maybe New Orleans or something like that.
That'd be nice trip.
But that's a big trip. And
we've
met
a big
people.
Trip.
We've got friends that live in Alabama that have invited us to stay with them, and there's some pretty cool stuff going on there. So that's a goal. Another thing we'd like to do is if you're familiar with the Natchez Trace Parkway, that starts in Nashville and it goes and it ends up all the way down in, I think, New Orleans.
Really?
So that's something. Yeah, that's something we'd like to ride. I'm not 100% sure.
We've ridden parts of it.
Yeah, we've ridden parts of it, but we've ridden the whole Blue Ridge Parkway. Fun fact, we've ridden the Blue Ridge Parkway on our bicycles and the motorcycle.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Blue Ridge Parkway is nice. It is a nice.
So those places that got flooded out,
out,
like Chimney Rock and all that. We've been there.
Oh yeah, we've been there on the bicycle and the motorcycle.
Yeah.
All right, which was the better experience, the bicycle or the motorcycle?
The motorcycle.
The bicycle.
Whoa, hold on a second.
I mean, I'm sure it's two different experiences. Two different experiences.
Sure.
They're different.
They're very different.
Yeah, it's crazy, to get out on, especially like the Parkway on the motorcycle and be like, hey, remember when we were suffering going up this on a bicycle?
Remember when I had a meltdown over here and cried? Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, now you just get the pedal assist bikes and you're good. The electric bikes. It'd be fine.
There you go.
Everybody has them now.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has a motor.
Yeah. I wish I had one.
Amish country.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had one.
Sure.
Yeah, you see them down here because we have a very large in Sarasota. We have a very large Amish Mennonite community, and they're on those electric bikes, right around town, and they're everywhere.
They love them.
They love it. Same here. They don't even have to pedal anymore. They're like going up a hill, and they don't even pedal.
Yep.
Man, the Amish are ahead of the curve. They have solar panels on their. So they have this thing. I call it the sin shed. So outside of an Amish house will be a shed, and that's where all the electronics are, because they all have cell phones, they all have all these things, right? They have e-bikes now. So on top of the sin shed is the solar panels, and they have the battery banks inside, and then that's where they plug in their e-bike batteries, their cell phones. That's where their PlayStations are, all that jazz. Yeah, they have radios in their buggies, man. They've got the younger kids. They have boom boxes in their buggies.
Oh, yeah.
They have lights, LED lights in them. Yeah, don't let them fool you, man. Amish are rocking out.
Yeah,
dude.
they're sneaky.
They're
sneaky.
I'm just I love history and I love culture and I love people. So I just find their whole thing so fascinating, man.
Yeah.
I just almost borderlines on a fetish. I don't know.
Now,
what a weirdo.
Now, who does? Because your videos they have a lot of like the place's history and a lot of information on where you guys go. Which one of you is the researcher?
Me.
You.
Yeah.
All right.
Todd drives.
Yeah.
He navigates. I do the rest.
Yeah.
Well, now hold on.
He does like the repairs on the bike and stuff.
Well,
I do the videos.
But no, I do like the historic places we go that's a lot of that is me. Like, I'm like, hey, this is a cool part of history, like Thurman and stuff like that. Yeah. I find these places and we want to go, but the videos, all that is Amy. All that she does a really good job with those, man. The editing, the music. And
they're awesome. They are awesome.
Yeah, and then
they're awesome.
Her historic voiceover thing that she does every now and then, where she gives you a little, like you just mentioned, that she came up with that on her own, and I'm like, you need to make sure you do one of those, and it's great. She does a great job with that. I love it.
Now, have you thought about? I mean, I know you have a YouTube channel. Now, have you thought about doing long form content? Or
that's when we first started the page a couple of years ago. We were more focused on YouTube and doing like long form content, and then with work and everything else, it just got to be too much. And I found when we came back into it that it was just a lot easier to do TikTok. But there is a lot of our stuff that's more long form that we have put on TikTok. Some people like it. A lot of people, they're not on TikTok for long form content. So just like our people who really like to support us, they'll watch the whole thing. But I understand when people don't. So this winter, we're gonna get the YouTube back up and running, because we have footage from the last 3 or 4 years that never made it on TikTok, never made it on YouTube. I've never even watched. Yeah. So
like we have 3 GoPros, and all of that footage from the trip out west. Yeah. All that's on Michigan, the GoPros. Yeah, in Michigan trip. We did the whole perimeter of Michigan. All that's on the GoPros, and we haven't even watched it.
Now, is all the video on GoPro, or do you use your phone too?
Now it's all the phone.
It's all phone now.
It's all phone,
when we first started it was all like, it was GoPro mainly, and then a little bit of phone. Yep. And now it's just so much easier, I feel like, to use the phone. Yeah.
Like I have a 360. I have a 360 GoPro that I mount on my handlebars, and if I go for a ride, I've done a couple videos with it, not too many. I just find it's a pain in the ass to edit.
It's such a pain
to edit those 360 videos. It's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain to try and edit. Yep. And it's just like, I like the ability that if I wanted footage turned around, like from behind us, that I could get it. Yeah. But it takes so long to like go through the footage and then edit it that it's almost not even worth it. I would rather just like set up another cell phone facing the other direction, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think it'd be so much easier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I started a channel a few years ago that I really didn't do much with, but I called it Two Wheel Eats, where I went out on a motorcycle to review like food trucks and small mom and pop restaurants.
I remember when he was doing that.
I might get back. I might get back into that. But that's what I started doing. That I started recording. I'd order something and just start reviewing the food and stuff. I mean, I'm not going to give them a bad review. I mean, whatever. It's just entertainment content. But I thought that was cool, just to travel around on the bike and just go to different small food trucks or side of road vendors and just kind of get them out there and say, hey, this guy's over here. This guy's slinging the best jerk chicken in the world at a bait shop. I mean, really, because it's true.
Yeah. We had the best cheeseburger ever at some little roadside building in the middle of nowhere.
It was in the middle of nowhere, a little hamburger stand, and it was all run down. This guy, man, I swear he was a mafioso that was hiding out. He was your stereotypical Italian with the thick New York accent.
Wearing his necklace.
I mean, what guy made us phenomenal burgers. Phenomenal. Had gelato in there. Really? It was awesome. So yeah, good dude.
Yep.
But we love like the roadside eats and the mom and pop shops. Like we love to support local, and we love to go through small towns and try to, support them by buying the food that they have and talking about it and encouraging people to go.
And that's kind of like the gist of our channel, if you want to call it a channel, I guess. But that's kind of what we're doing, is we're just trying to encourage people to get out there and just go on a byway and go and meet people, stop at small roadside places, ask for like me, I'm a people person. So we got a place we go to called Deb's Golden Cub. And I'm always like, where's Deb at? And Deb's been gone for a long time. Yeah. Anytime I go in there, I'm like, hey, where's Deb at? I want to talk to Deb. And just these small places like that, they love people like us.
Yeah.
They need business, and the food is always phenomenal, man. You got somebody's Nana back there making you food that your grandma would make you. I mean, it's just it's just wonderful, and that's the whole part of being off the beaten path. Don't go to Applebee's, don't go to McDonald's. Like, go to some hole in the
that's
wall.
the only place.
Even during the pandemic, I found myself eating more at the local restaurants than the chains, because they needed a support back then because they were hurting. So I found myself eating more at like the mom and pop restaurants than I did at a chain. I actually found the best Cuban food I ever had in my life at a gas station.
I was just about to mention that place. He turned me on this gas station in front of Venice Hospital before they closed it, and it is amazing Cuban food. Oh, just out of the gas station. Oh, you wouldn't even think about it.
The first time I went in there, the owner's like, "Hey, have you ever eaten here before?" I'm like, "No, the first time." He goes, "You're gonna try everything before you order." And he's giving me samples of everything. I mean, the nicest guy in the world. His wife is the cook, and oh man, just the food. And they were the nicest people ever. And it's quality food that just they're making a living, and that's what I love.
Yeah. It's not some kid in the kitchen who hates his life back there. You know what I mean? It's somebody making it with love from a family recipe that probably grew up in a kitchen. I mean, you can't beat that, man. You can't.
See, now you're inspiring me to get back out there and do my two-wheel.
You should.
People
would love to watch that.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. All right. I'll get back out there. I'll do some more.
I even know of a Jamaican restaurant right there in downtown Sarasota. I found doing Uber Eats, and it's this old grandmother and her grandson out of their house that they're just randomly on Uber Eats delivering to people. It's great food.
Oh yeah,
it was delicious.
Like one of my favorite breakfast spots is at the airport, Venice Airport, so small regional airport. It is a Jamaican chef, man. It is just like outrageous food in there, just for breakfast, and it's just so good. And you never know it's there until you word of mouth, or he's got like he pays some sign flipper like down the road to flip a sign saying he's there. But it's awesome food, and that's what I like to do. I like to do that stuff.
You're making me crazy.
It's one of my favorite coffees.
Right there.
Aroma Ridge.
I got it. Oh yeah. So anyway, if you could create the ultimate journey or the ultimate trip, no limits, no time, none of that. No what would the destination be, and what would it look like?
For me,
I think, as I say, we'll have different answers to this one.
For me, I would like to be able to leave and ride all over the United States. Every single state. I'd like to follow the weather. So when it's nice, up north in the summer, make my way down south, I would want to ride all over the U.S. through all the small towns in every state there is, and just take as long as it takes to do that. Yeah. I would love that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, obviously want to ride all the states too, but I would really love to ride the perimeter of the entire United States. And then when you make it up, into the PNW, continuing on into like Vancouver and making your way all the way over to like Montreal before coming back down in.
Yeah.
But we would love to have if we could have like a year, like one full year.
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
We're trying to work our way up to where we could like take like a month, and then maybe like a year after that we could maybe take 2 months.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
So we both, I don't know if Amy told you much about this, but we just did massive career changes a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So we're at that point in our lives, like we have 2 kids, 2 boys. They're adults. They're on their own. They both own their own places. So we're empty nesters now. And so a couple years ago, Amy had a very demanding job in luxury retail. I worked in manufacturing most of my life, very demanding job, a lot of overtime, a lot of weekends. And so we made the decision to sell our house, and we changed careers, and now we have a lot more time to do the things. And that's why we're riding more than ever. But it was that trip we took out west that really was what solidified for us, because we weren't sure what to do, what we wanted to do. And so that trip out west is what really did it for us. And we made the decision, we're going to sell the house. Amy was still working in luxury retail at the time, but that journey and then the subsequent selling of the home and moving was what ended her career. And now she's working for herself now and building her own business, helping people. And it's giving us the time to do what we love, which is to travel and to meet people and to just be together. Like we just love doing it together.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Hang tight. We'll be right back. We're just mixing up a new cocktail and getting ready for our next segment. Because, we need a new beverage. Hang tight. Stick with us. Tiki Talk The Podcast will be back in just a moment. Ready to dive deeper into the laughs and chaos of Tiki Talk The Podcast? Get your hands on exclusive merch and catch every epic moment from past shows all at TikiTalkThePodcast.com. We're talking teas, mugs, and more with all that signature Tiki Talk flair. Perfect for fans who live the what the fuck moments and Kevin and Noah's outrageous stories. Want instant access to replays? Just tap that live stream. Whether it's Kevin's Wireless Law Troubles or Vienna Sausage Showdown, relive it all anytime. So head over to TikiTalkThePodcast.com today. Your merch, your laughs, your podcast. Tiki Talk The Podcast. Hey, coffee lovers and podcast fans. Looking for that perfect cup of coffee to fuel your mornings and to keep you going throughout the day? Look no further than Aroma Ridge Coffee Roasters. Fresh roasted, rare flavored, and packed with rich, bold flavors you're going to love. And guess what? They're the official coffee of Tiki Talk The Podcast. So while you're tuning into our fun, casual, and outrageous episodes, you can sip on some delicious coffee from Aroma Ridge. Ready to get yours? Use code SHIPNUT and check out and save 10% on your order at aromaridge.com. Noah, what's your dream trip look like on your Hayabusa?
On my Hayabusa? Well, yeah,
I
know.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But he's
I wish I had a Hayabusa. I wish I had a Hayabusa.
It's got a long stretched rear end.
I love me a Hayabusa. It's either going to be a Hayabusa or an Indian Scout. I'll tell you that much. So,
okay.
But if I had to pick a dream journey, I don't know. It would just be riding the mountain ranges. I really love the Appalachian Mountains. Like, and I've been watching a lot of your videos. You guys are really crushing on West Virginia. West Virginia is very beautiful. Virginia is very beautiful.
Yeah, you used to live in Virginia.
Beautiful country. I did. I actually lived very close to I used to work in Purcellville, Virginia, which is right 10 miles from Charleston. So, just the Appalachian Mountains are so beautiful. I would love to just ride up and down them. And then I'd probably go over to the Rockies and do the same thing. But yeah, that's probably my dream riding vacation there.
I would love to do. You ever see that show, Long Way Round, Long Way Up, Long Way with Ewan McGregor and?
Oh,
Yes.
No, it's on Apple TV.
Oh, that's why I'm okay.
An amazing show. It really is, because they went around the globe on adventure bikes. And then they went from the tip of South America to Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting.
On an electric Harley. On the live wire when they made those. It's crazy adventures. I'd love to do that. I would love to do from South America to Alaska. I would love to do that. And just take my time and just enjoy everything. That's what it is. It's just different people, different. It's fun. Just getting out there and getting yourself situated out there. It's just fun. I just like it.
And not having an agenda either, where you can just do what you want to do. If you get to an area that you really like, you can stay there a little bit longer.
Oh yeah.
If the weather's not great, you can hunker down for longer. But just having the liberty to do it at whatever pace you want to, I think it would be amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, when we all get on Todd's debt relief program.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because we were just talking about this the other day, because
I said to Amy, I don't think that's working out.
I don't think so either.
I saw that video and I was dying. I was dying when I saw that video.
Yeah. If only we would have known that, that wouldn't have been, a good way to invest our money. But, you live, you learn.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't win if you don't play. I mean,
really, I tell myself,
can't win if you don't play.
A couple weeks go by, man, and I'm spending, $5 every couple days, and I'm just like, I haven't won. It's making me mad. I guess that's the way it works.
I'll throw like $10 down when the jackpot's like 300, 400 million. When it's that high, I'll be like, all right, I'll buy a ticket. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I've never bought a lottery ticket in my entire life. I'm
Me neither.
convinced it's a complete scam. And they're not going to get my $2 or my $5 or my $10. So
yeah, but it's, but you should. It's beginner's luck. Go buy a ticket.
No.
Yeah. But if that wins, because we're married, I will take the earnings.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Yeah.
I
won't play.
Sharon.
Of course.
Oh my God. That's so funny. That is so
that's
funny.
how my mind works, though, is anything I set my mind to, I usually do pretty well at, or at least I'm, and I was thinking the same thing with this. I thought if I just, just do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sooner or later I'm going to hit.
Yep.
But I'm also impatient. So I don't want to wait 10 years
and
have to invest all that money. I hit $70. That's the most I've won.
Yep.
Other than that, it's been $2, $4. And I'm just like, man,
this
ain't working out the way.
I had a similar plan. Not really, but when I was working for, I used to deliver for Airborne Express, and I'd stop and I'd buy a scratcher, and I spent $5 on a scratch-off ticket. I scratched tickets for like 2 months on that $5 because I'd win and I'd go buy a couple more. Mm-hmm. I filled an entire tub full of scratch tickets. I didn't throw them away. I wanted to see how many I could get off of $5. It was like insane. My wife was like, how much money are you spending? I'm like, no. I'm on $5. That's it. I want to see how far this goes. So it was crazy.
Those scratchers are a thing because, again, working in manufacturing, I worked with guys that had this whole thing, man. They would come in the morning and they were very ritualistic about it. They had this thing that they used to scratch it with. They had to wait till a certain time. They drink their coffee. They would scratch this one. They would brush it. I mean, you talk about very much like a ritual type thing.
Yeah.
And these guys would win. I watched Eric the one day win $900 on scratcher. He's like, yeah.
There's theories like it depends on the number of the ticket. If there's like a little white line up top, because I've been in a convenience store and the guy's like, "What number is that ticket?" Nope, I don't want that one. Which number is that one? I'm like, what does that matter?
What are they doing?
And I'm just like, can I get this ticket? Thank you.
But I'll tell you what, a lot of people who play scratchers in Florida, there's a lot of winners in Florida. I'll tell you, there must be something. There's a secret that people know down here. Darwin, you remember Darwin?
Yeah.
Darwin won something like $100,000 on a scratcher, paid off his truck in his house. Wow. And that's somebody that we used to work with. Yeah. No, good for yeah, really. Good for that.
I don't have that luck.
Yeah,
I don't have that luck. Nope.
Do you guys in Florida? Do you guys have this thing called a pull tab?
In bars they used to. In bars. Yeah, they got the pull tabs. Yeah.
So we have pull tabs here. So there's this place we like to go to down in Zanesville. We ride down there and get a burger. Terry's Tavern. Amy's done some videos on that. It's right on the river. It's a cool spot. They've got a pull tab machine in there. And we were in there one day, and this lady was in there, and she's like, I won my vacation from these pull tabs.
She had spent like $200 that day on pull tabs.
Wow.
And somebody was like, I think somebody who worked there was just like, because she kept getting more money from them. And that's when she was like very proudly like, no, I sent my whole entire family on a vacation with these last year. And I'm just thinking, how much money did you have to put in there to like get back enough money to take a vacation?
That's crazy.
That's a good question.
Yeah, there was a place down here. It's a bar, and that's how they do the happy hour with pull tabs to see what percentage off you get on your drink.
Oh, okay.
So you go to the bar and you pull it off. I mean, listen, it's Florida. There's happy hours everywhere. These old people like to drink. Let me tell you.
Restaurants just dedicated to daiquiris.
Oh yeah,
for sure. What do they call? They call Florida God's waiting room.
It is God's waiting room. Yeah. It is God's waiting room for sure.
For sure.
Do you know how I can tell?
Especially
it's
the
fall?
West Coast.
You know how I can tell it's fall? The license plates aren't changing colors.
Yeah.
I always say if Florida is heaven's waiting room, then the DMV is hell's.
See, our DMV isn't bad down here.
But you know what they call the DMV down here? The tax collector.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, it's just a tax collector.
It's called the tax collector office.
Like when I was in Massachusetts, you had to take like a 3-day off of work to go to the DMV up there. Down here, in and out.
Cam of lamb chowder.
In and out. No issues done. Hey, easy. Yeah. Well, listen, when you guys make your trip down to Key West, let me know.
Absolutely.
For sure. We'll meet up with you.
Yeah,
because I'm on the west coast of Florida. I'm like right in Sarasota, so.
Yeah,
I am.
We'll let everybody know.
Yeah. I'd love to meet up with you guys, and we'll go for a ride.
Go check out some of those food spots.
Yeah, I know a couple. Key West, they're everywhere.
Oh, Key West is amazing.
Yeah,
you guys know that the doll that inspired Chucky is in Key West, right?
Yeah.
No.
That's a thing. That is a thing. Oh, yes.
Okay, so we'll add that to the list.
The doll that inspired the Chucky movies is in Key West, and they say you can't, unless you ask for permission, don't take pictures of it because it'll move in the pictures and like haunt you for the rest of your life. I don't know if that's true. I refuse to take pictures.
Well, and then you got Ernest Hemingway down there in Key West.
Hemingway's house is there.
That's on my list. That's on my list to go see is Hemingway's house.
And then, if his house is still there because the hurricane, I don't know. Stephen King's house in Florida is only about 10 minutes away from my house.
Yeah, by Turtle.
Stephen King put a hex on us.
Well, you just don't lose the key. That's all.
Yeah. No, Stephen King did that. I'm convinced because we've never, ever, ever had an issue like that before. And we roll up to Stephen King's house and Todd starts to like angle the bike like he's going to turn into this man's private gated driveway.
The gate was open. I just rode right up the driveway.
And I was like, oh my God, like we're going to like, no, this is not good. And then the very next day, keys are missing.
Yeah. She's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you.
I disrespected King's house.
Cujo grabbed it.
Yeah.
Cujo grabbed your keys.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to ride that bridge. You would know. Is it like 30 miles long? That bridge that takes you down to Key West?
Oh yeah, 7 mile bridge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. The 7 mile bridge. So I want to ride that, and then I want to go to that marker. That's the furthest,
the southernmost point.
Yeah. I want to take a picture there.
Oh yeah.
Those are the two, and I want to see Hemingway's house.
Yeah.
Ken Burns did a really good documentary on Hemingway. It was like a 3-part documentary.
Oh really?
It's on. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's great. What a cool dude. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Very interesting guy. Yeah.
Now Key West, my favorite thing in Key West is to find the best conch fritters in Key West.
Okay.
Delicious.
Conch fritters are good. That's one of my favorites.
Amy won't eat that. She doesn't eat seafood.
What?
No,
I eat seafood.
She doesn't eat shellfish. She has a minor shellfish allergy.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Sensitivity. It's not like I'm like just an asshole or something.
I was like, you went to Maine and you don't eat shellfish?
She didn't get a lobster roll. I did.
You don't eat the sea bugs? The sea bugs from Maine? No.
They're delicious.
It was the shrimps. We had some shrimps, and it kind of closed up her throat a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She was like, I was like, yeah, that'll happen sometimes. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, no more.
Nope.
Did not close up my throat.
Yeah, you don't want to play that game. No. You don't want to play that game. I mean, lobsters are delicious, but I mean, delicious. All right.
All the other animals.
In Portland, Maine, we went to Becky's Diner. Nothing finer than Becky's Diner.
Hey, you did a pretty good accent there. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know how many people corrected us?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are so cool because I don't want to insult them, but trying to use a New England accent. I mean, I'm from Ohio, and when we were telling somebody where we were going, like, yeah, we're going to Bangor. He's like, no, it's Bangor.
Yep, Bangor.
He's like, you gotta say it like that. I was like, okay.
Yep.
So I just started saying it like that.
Oh yeah. Now here we go.
Cool up there.
What's the one place you traveled that was so magical that you didn't want to leave?
The Tetons.
Yeah, the Tetons. Like when I tell you that I had like a spiritual connection to the land, it's like wild. I would have never said that about anything before. And it's just so magical and so peaceful. That if I could have packed up and like moved there the next day, that's how strongly I felt about it. I would have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now you went to like Jenny Lake and all that other stuff, right? In the Tetons?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Jenny Lake.
Where's Jenny Lake at?
Oxbow Bend. Yeah, it's right there in the Grand Tetons. Yeah.
Well, we probably did.
You probably did.
I don't remember all the names of them.
Like I wanna build a house in my backyard. Is the view of the Tetons? That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
You and all the other rich people moving out there.
Well, I don't have that kind of money, so that's I'll just watch it on videos.
There you go.
That was the thing when we were out west too. That was something that like everybody said to you. They're all like, "There's no water out here. Don't move out here. There's no water. We're running out of water." Like everybody was like, "Don't move out here. Yeah. There's no water. And they don't want you moving out there, and I can understand why. Like it's they want to keep it to themselves.
Oh yeah.
Well, and it's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, the median income in Jackson, Wyoming is like $360,000.
Yeah,
that's the median income.
Yeah, it's the wealthiest zip code in the world.
Yes, it's crazy.
But I would say probably every state that we've been to, we've been somewhere that was kind of magical. You know what I mean? Or like we've ended up somewhere where we're just like, oh my gosh, like that's so beautiful, or that's so cool, or I'm so glad we saw that.
Yeah.
Like West Virginia has a lot of those gems. Michigan has a lot of those gems.
Yep.
Yeah.
South Dakota for sure.
Yeah.
Wyoming. New York has some of those gems. So, and then obviously, like in Maine and stuff. So I feel like every state does have a magical place. But I would say the most magical place has been the Tetons.
Yeah. And we've had some comments. People have asked about, have we been south? And so we haven't really been south yet. So but it takes time to get to these places. So eventually we'll make it down there. The Ozarks is a place that we'd really like to go to.
Yeah,
I hear that's beautiful. I hear the Ozarks is beautiful.
My wife used to vacation down there. Yeah.
Your wife used to vacation there, Noah?
Yeah, because she's from St. Joe, Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
So she used to go down through Kansas City, and her and her family used to go down to the Ozarks and vacation there sometimes. So she knows all about it. She's told me that it's really beautiful. There's some kind of she's gonna throw something at me at some point because I'm gonna forget. But there's some kind of like Hawk Festival or something that she talks about. That was really beautiful. Huh. Don't know. She told me all about it, and I'm drawing blanks. But that's it. So I better watch out later.
We put you on the spot. No, it's okay.
I know. I kind of put myself here, to be honest.
Well, you do that from time to time.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Florida. I want to do there's so many things I want to explore in Florida. Like, I want to go to Crystal River. I've never been to Crystal River.
Crystal River is beautiful. There. I've been to Crystal because I'm about 20 minutes away from Crystal River.
Like, I want to
see. It's a beautiful area.
I want to see that graffiti bridge up in North Florida, where it's an old abandoned bridge, but just covered in graffiti. So I want to see that too.
There's some really cool places.
There's some really cool places like that in Florida. I want to check out. Like Sebring, I think we might take a ride there this weekend. Sebring, it's all murals, and there's murals everywhere, all over in Sebring. So, and then they have the 24 hours of Sebring race there too. So I'd like to see that. So
that would be cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to go to St. Augustine, I think it's called.
Oh, St. Augustine is beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. St. Augustine. I was a kid. Beautiful. But... Hey, I've drank from the Fountain of Youth.
Have you?
Oh. Didn't help, but
no.
I drank from it.
I didn't think so.
Didn't help, but I drank. Yeah, St. Augustine's got some cool things to do in St. Augustine. The lighthouse is haunted. The fort's pretty cool. Yeah, St. Augustine's a cool place. There's a lot of good places like that. Like St. Augustine is the oldest city in the United States.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not true. That's actually not true.
No.
That's not true.
Stop.
Just saying.
Stop.
There's one city that is a part of the United States that beats it by 30 years. Just saying.
Stop.
And what is it, Noah?
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
By 30 years. By 30 years. That's right. That's right, Kevin.
We only count mainland United States.
Oh, I see.
The continental United States.
Yeah. The continental United States.
They can't take the bike to San Juan.
That's true.
Unless they get a jet ski.
San Juan. I mean,
you know,
on that documentary that you were talking about that Ewan McGregor did.
Yeah,
I forget the other guy on the first one, the long way.
Yeah,
they had to take their bikes apart and put them on boats to
yes.
get them across the river, if I remember.
Yes. Yeah. There was a few. Yeah. I mean, I think it was a well put together documentary on the struggles and stuff that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that they met were awesome. So that was a great thing to see. You know, the interactions in different countries and different, cultures and stuff. Was it? I mean, yeah, I know they're movie stars and stuff, but it was cool to see those interactions with the locals and, off the beaten path. I mean, they went through some shit for sure.
Yeah.
That might be my next bike. I might have to buy one of those GSs. Those are so nice.
Yeah, I trying to convince my son to buy a used Pan America just so.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey,
I would love to have an adventure bike.
Listen, Amy, you have your license too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do have my license.
All right. Well, there's two Pan Americans right there waiting.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah, I need to get more practice. I actually just maybe 3 weeks ago or so, I just got back out on the bike to get some practice before winterizing the bike.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't know why they give people a license after just 2 days, because I literally forgot almost everything. It only took me a half hour to pick it back up. But my gosh, there's so much going on with the motorcycle. I feel like if you're not actively riding it and practicing and doing drills, you're just not doing yourself any favors. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about Florida. I don't have to winterize. I'm riding year round.
Yeah.
I am always on that thing. I mean, I take it to work. It's just like last night I took it to work. This morning I'm like, ooh, it's a little chilly. It's 71 degrees. I need to put a jacket on. It's a little chilly on the way home.
It's 40 here.
I was about to say, I've seen him put on a little beanie, and he's just like, oh, I'm so cold.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. Yeah, 71 degrees. I had a flannel shirt on riding home this morning because I was a little chilly on the bike. But that's me.
I had to buy Amy a heated jacket. She's got a heated jacket now.
I should have had the heated jacket before we went to Maine.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
That trip was cold.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Was cold, man. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew, the Northeast gets chilly, and I was in Maine years ago in late September, but I mean, it rained half the time, which didn't help. Yeah. Man, that was cold. That trip was cold. Yeah. Cold.
Now the heated stuff, they're coming out like crazy with all that stuff. The heated jackets, the heated gloves, the heated socks, the heated. I mean, they have heated insoles for your boots.
Right.
It's
stuff that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
Back in the day, we just you froze.
Yeah. Well, we did freeze.
Yeah. It's like, suck it up. You're gonna get cold for sure. Oh man, what great adventures, guys! I can't wait to see what you guys have in the future. I really can't.
Sure.
I want to see your long form format come out soon, and I'll be excited to watch that. Listen, guys, if you're listening, go check out Adventures of Todd and Amy. Awesome content, great adventures. You learn some history about some places that you'd never know of. Keep it up, guys. You guys are doing an awesome job with it. I love watching it, and you've inspired me to go out. You've inspired me to go out and take some adventures myself.
Yeah.
We love that. You should.
Oh,
and we also, too, people see, we like to show people the reality of it. So that's why sometimes the experience isn't great, or sometimes we make a mistake and, you know, we post it for people and they can be critical of it, but that's how things work. You know, when you take adventures, they're not always perfect. So we like just putting it out there.
That's the problem with online too. You get your keyboard cowboys that just, whatever.
Yeah.
I look at it as, hey, thanks for the engagement. Thanks. You just ran up my algorithm by just engaging, but it still sucks. I mean, it's just you can scroll past stuff. It just scroll past. Like with my bar page, you don't want to know the things that I've been called. Oh, really? Man. Oh yeah. It's crazy. Oh, look at this drunk. He's half shit faced by noon. Well, you know what drinks the most on my bar page? My sink.
Yeah, there you go.
I make a drink, take a sip, dump it. I mean, really. Because I'm getting promotional bottles and I have to make so many videos with that. But my sink drinks more than anyone in my house. You know, so people don't see that. It's crazy.
Yeah, the thing with the social media is you got to have a thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't let stuff bother you.
Yeah, no.
You know, some people are just miserable and they have nothing better to do but to just, you know, sit on their couch and just make nasty comments at a video for no reason. It's just whatever, you know?
Exactly. So
awesome. But we're trying to do, you know, we're trying to use social media in a positive way.
Yeah.
And we've met a lot of good people on social media, and so that's what we hope to do with what we're doing. Is we hope that we can inspire people, show them the beauty of the U.S. and that the great people that are here, and that we can build a community and people like yourself we can meet up with when we make it your way. And
absolutely,
awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
And if you're down here in Florida, just call me if you need a place to stay, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You know?
And we also recognize that being able to do this is a privilege, and not everybody can physically or financially go out and take these adventures. And so we want to be able to bring those adventures into their living room or onto their phone so they can still enjoy it.
But it does inspire people. Like even on the short trips, like a weekend, it's like now it gets your mindset on, hey, I can go for a short weekend trip too. You know, just it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but I can go for a short, you know, overnight trip and see something different. So then it gets people looking at, hey, what can I see in my own state, or what can I see in my own area? You know, because there's so much out there that you don't know about. You know. So
people ask us all the time about like, oh, what do you do for a living? How do you get this much time off? And it's like, we don't get that much time off. It's just, but when we are off, this is what we do.
That's what you do. Yeah.
We make the most of the time that we have.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, we're not old, but we're, you know, not young. And I don't know how many times, you know, old timers will tell me, especially, you know, I do a lot of residential HVAC work, and I'll talk to people, you know, older couples, and inadvertently, you know, you talk to them and you tell them what you do, and they'll say, man, you know, I wish I would have done that when I was your age. You know, I wish. They're like, you know, you do it now while you can, young man, you know, because you're going to be like me, and it creeps up on you fast.
Yeah.
I
hear that too in my neighborhood. My neighborhood, they're mostly older folks, really. I got a guy 3 doors down, and he used to ride a motorcycle, and now he rides a scooter. He's like, I can't get my legs over a bike anymore. He's 86 years old.
Yeah.
But he still gets on 2 wheels. He goes, I can't give it up.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't give it up. I love it too much. He goes, he said that. He goes, I wish I did more when I was younger.
Yeah.
He actually said that to me, and I was like, that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you can't get time back.
No,
Nope.
you sure can't.
Sure can.
Time's your most valuable asset, you know? And none of us know how much time we're given, so you just got to make the most of it.
Exactly.
For sure. Yep.
What a fun episode, guys. We learned a lot today.
This was great.
It was great.
Yeah.
You know?
It was really, really great talking to you guys.
Yeah, it was great talking to you guys. Finally, I watch your videos. It's like, man, we got to talk. I mean, you know, we comment back and forth, and we've been corresponding through emails and stuff like that. But it was so nice to actually have you on and have a nice conversation and get into your little life of adventures, you know.
Absolutely.
So you guys, you can find this on anywhere you get a podcast. It'll be loaded up tomorrow. You know, because it's I got to watch the Jake Paul fight tonight.
Oh, me too. I ordered pizza.
There you go. But you can go follow the Adventures of Todd and Amy. I do have their link tree in the show description. So your link tree's in there, so they can click on it and get all your links right there. And I will definitely share this with you guys after it's all posted up and everything. I'll give you all the links. But guys, thanks for being on. We really appreciate you. I hope we can talk again once you have some more adventures.
Anytime.
Anytime you guys want to share something. I mean, somebody hinted towards a book maybe coming on. You know, somebody hinted that. But, you know, if you want to talk about that later, you know, just let me know.
Well, and we're going to be starting our own, and we're going to have you on there. So you better start going to restaurants so you can come and tell us all about it.
I gotta start doing that. I really
do.
I gotta start doing that again. Here's the problem though, is you have to do it kind of sneakily, because a lot of places, and this is where I found when I started, they didn't want it to be on video. They wouldn't let you video inside, you know. So I would go get it and then go to a different location and do the review. Yeah. You know? Okay. Because a lot of restaurants didn't want you to do that. Because I would ask. I was, you know, courteous. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to do it. And they're like, no, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm like, okay, well, let me order this. And I rode down the street and did a review on them anyway. It's my money.
And tell people they wouldn't let you do a review.
Yeah. I mean, it's my money. I can review it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
So I got to figure out the differences to do that. So, because I love food trucks. I love side of the road guys. I love all that stuff.
Hole in the wall. Those are the best places.
Oh,
hey, listen. If you're ever in Virginia Beach, I happen to know a great laundromat / hot dog stand. Right by Chicks Beach. Right by Chicks Beach.
Laundromat hot dog stand.
That is correct. It's right by Chicks Beach, not Neptune's Beach, which is the beach that Virginia Beach is known for, but Chicks Beach, right? Which is kind of more towards the north of Virginia Beach. And there's, like I said, laundromat hot dog stand. Great hot dog.
Yeah, but what if you spill the mustard on your clean shirt while your other stuff's washing?
Well, it's a good thing you're in a laundromat.
Good place.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right. I get it. I guess. All right, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on. We hope to talk to you soon. And I can't wait to see many more adventures from you guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it, and we'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
All right, Noah, you ready to go?
I am ready.
I'm ready to see Tyson kick some butt.
Oh, hell yeah! I've been due-born.
Yeah.
Due-born? Ready. Yes.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you all later. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time. Cheers.
See y'all later.
Thanks for watching Tiki Talk, the podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe, like, and share. Until next time.